Hello, husband and wife, Law Team family. I'm not the husband or the wife. I'm simply the host of our first ever MARKetology. And I have the legend himself, Mark.
Isn't it great to have a host? And it's not Alexis, because Alexis didn't want to be here picking college basketball.
She's not ready for the madness. She's not ready.
She's never fully ready for the madness that comes to our home.
She gets the Mark madness all the time.
Can you imagine? So you can see why she doesn't want more of the college basketball stuff.
Mark madness meets March madness.
That's right. We are ready.
All right, Mark. So this is simple. For those of you watching, everybody knows it's the greatest time of the year because it's March Madness, which means brackets. And we have a blown-up bracket, and we have a Sharpie. Ooh. And that means you know what time it is.
Look at the power. Look at the power I hold.
I'm handing this to you.
The perfect bracket is right here.
First and foremost,
couple rules.
We are filming this before the first 4 games start. This is Tuesday afternoon. When you watch this, the first 4 games will be done. The bracket will be firmly set. So I think it's time to get going.
Are you ready?
Let's uncap the marker. All right, we're going to start in the South region with the #1 overall seed, Alabama.
Yeah, Bama.
I think that's a pretty easy one. Alabama, the #1 overall seed.
I'm going with WVU.
I agree.
And I'm going with College of Charleston.
I like it. Incredible. I believe they've only lost 3 times this season.
Well, UVA.
So you do have Virginia getting past Furman, though.
I'm going to go.
Creighton Blue Jays.
In effect, I'm going with not only the better team, but a team who's played more good Who would have ever thought we'd say it about the ACC? But what are you going to do?
So then we got the Baylor Bears versus UC Santa Barbara. Are you even going to talk about it?
Nope. That's that.
The Bears.
Listen, they got an experienced coach. They know how to do it. Are they the same team? You know, are they going to get after it the way they did it a couple years ago? Probably not. And they've been less consistent. But they have shown the ability to turn it on at times. We're going to go Baylor.
All right. So we have the Tigers of Missouri, SEC, kind of a surprise SEC team, and the Utah State team who just went to the Mountain West Championship.
I think that this is one of those upsets on those 10 versus 7s. This feels right.
I like it.
And then
I don't think you can't go against.
No. Well, I could. I would be happy to go against my home state if it meant me being right more. However, so we're going to see later on, I won't be doing that if they even.
So we're doing U of A.
So I know it's supposed to be U Arizona now, but it's U of A to me.
Let me just go.
All right.
So move on to the East. I don't think we need to talk about. You know that team a little too well.
Yeah.
They've caused you a little emotional damage this year. Preferably, we're talking about a certain 7'4" individual.
Yes. Oh my goodness. 7'4", 506 pounds, and nimble.
Well, anybody stop him, we'll see in a couple minutes.
So here's the thing about this. For all the hype, Penny's like, we want the smoke, we want the smoke. He's never brought the smoke.
No.
He has not been able to turn the corner. Purdue has a tough matchup no matter who they get. No matter who they get. But I think they're more likely to get FAU. After a whole year of not playing like Duke, it's like it's come together and it's win after win. And I like Duke, and I'm going with Louisiana.
Interesting. So far, that's your biggest upset as a 13 seed.
Yeah, I have no problem with Kentucky. It's not an anti-Kentucky thing, but
it's always fun, though.
What a fun March Madness thing that would be.
I like that.
And Kentucky, they've had their share of wins.
I like that. So Kansas State completely turned around with Jerome Tang, who actually used to be with Scott Drew at Baylor. All right, easy. All right.
You can see why my co-host was brought along with me to hold my hand through this bracket. Because we all knew there was going to be limitations if I did this alone.
But see, I don't think I have to hold your hand on this next pick because we got, is this the Michigan Wolverines? Is that who it is?
No. They're over here.
Wait, are they on this?
Well, you know
They're
what?
Not even on.
They didn't even make the tournament. Wait, do you have the NIT bracket behind here? Because then we would find the University of Michigan Wolverines. Hey, you know what? Maybe we should not even talk about Juwan Howard and all the hype that he brought in and the Michigan hype machine. That's right. So I'm going to go with MSU here. And
I mean, Marquette's rolling.
I was at that game. I saw Marquette play in person. And they look great. Plus, to be honest, it's fun to cheer for this Milwaukee school, a school that has a lot of basketball history but doesn't always get the attention.
Well, and speaking of not to look too far ahead, but we got Shaka Smart versus Tom Izzo. That might be the best coaching matchup of the second round so far.
That's interesting.
All right, let's move over here.
All right, here we go.
To the Midwest. All right, I don't think that's easy. Houston was arguably the top team of all the time.
We're going to let Auburn be a part of this. And Pearl has some Big Ten roots, and it's interesting. All right, now we got Miami and Drake.
Very popular upset pick here.
I understand, but this is your ACC regular season champion, Miami Hurricanes.
Awesome. Drake Bulldogs coming off a Missouri Valley Championship. Doesn't matter here, though.
They're already gone. Now, here's the thing. Kent State is so dangerous. So dangerous. I like their chances, but not quite enough.
All right, so we move down to the 6-11. Now, this is where things get a little interesting
Yes, it
because of when we're filming this. This game actually tips off in about 2 hours from now. We have the Bulldogs of Mississippi State versus Pitt from the ACC. So first of all, let me ask your thoughts. Who do you think wins that game tonight?
So I think Mississippi State wins that game. And I also think that we have seen that like 3 of the last 4 years-ish, one of these teams makes a run, right? Mississippi State looks like the kind of team that could do that. Xavier looked terrible in the conference championship game. Terrible. But come on.
I like that.
They're a good team from a good conference. But I like A&M, and I like their chances. Fortunately, what does it set up? A little Texas Longhorn versus A&M. Now, what a battle that would be.
All right, let's move into our final region, the West. I think that's a pretty
I think we're
easy
going to go rock chalk here, right? Not a lot of credit. Hopefully Bill Self is back on the bench and doing his thing. This is a very interesting game. I'm gonna go with the Illini.
Yeah, stick with your conference
I
brothers.
am. Look, St. Mary's.
The Gales.
Yep.
Randy Bennett, great coach. So we move on to UConn versus Rick Pitino of Iona. Now, you love the Big East. Rick Pitino might be going there in a month or so.
He's got 2 offers right now.
He does. Do you think
Allegedly. Allegedly.
We don't know yet. We just need Twitter.
I like their
Going
chances.
with the Huskies. All right, so now we move on to our second. So again, we're filming this Tuesday.
That's right.
The 14th. Tomorrow's the 15th. So now we're going to have to pick between ASU, our hometown Devils, versus the Wolfpack of Nevada. First of all, let me ask you that, Mark. Who wins that matchup tomorrow night?
Cheering for the Devils. I expect Nevada.
Okay.
I actually like Nevada to upset
TCU. Now we move on to the matchup of the tournament.
Probably the biggest matchup.
Biggest matchup
This is where
ever.
you ask the committee. I mean, like, what? This is like putting 2 1 seeds.
It is.
In this round.
It is. This should be here. This should be right here. And the reason is we have, I think it's Gonzaga.
Yeah, that might be that.
I think they're up in New York or something like
that. The name that gets pronounced more than any other team. But thank you for getting it right. After 24 straight years in the tournament. There are 24 straight years that Gonzaga's been in the tournament.
But they're facing, now they might be the mid-major powerhouse, but they're facing the mid-major
powerhouse. The real mid-major, GCU.
The Grand King University, if you haven't figured it out
yet. Where did you go to school?
I might have gone to somewhere. Up in the Grand Canyon.
No way I'm picking GCU in that one. I think Gonzaga is a very, very dangerous team. I'm going to go the Big Ten right here.
Awesome. Boise State Broncos don't make it out of that 10-7 matchup. So that goes to UCLA. UCLA
Come on.
Struggled a little bit with health.
Come on.
All right, let's move on to the second round. All right, let's get rolling with this.
All right.
Best team in the country, they're still going to keep it rolling?
Well, I think that at this early stage, I'll get into this a little bit more later. Carmelo Anthony, as a true freshman, was able to carry his team to a championship. That doesn't happen a lot, and I think that is going to matter. I don't want to give away too much. It's going to matter a little bit further on.
Around this part.
But right here, I still like Bama.
I like that. And you kind of already spoiled this matchup a little bit. I think you got a Charleston. I think a lot of people are going to be agreeing with you there. We got the Blue Jays of Creighton versus the Bears of Baylor. Thoughts?
I have the thoughts that
interesting.
These great metrics sometimes are not right. These games come down to the wire, but I like Creighton's chances. And this is in Arizona. This is just Arizona's. There we go.
I like it. All right, let's move on down to the East, round 2. We got
dangerous game. However,
are you really doing
concerned about. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I have to say, of all the 1 seeds, I think Purdue is at the highest risk. This is obviously going to be Duke.
I would love to see that match. I'm going to have fun talking about that matchup in a little bit. All right, does Cooley keep it going at K-State or at Providence, or does K-State keep it going?
I think here we're at K-State.
Nice.
Now, this is a tough one. This is a very tough one. This is a little bit tougher because they have the Big Marquette. So guard play wins in the tournament. You got a kid who was the MVP of the Big East. Then he goes in and lights everything up in the tournament. The kid can dribble drive you to death. He's hard to stop. You got to look at Marquette and go, they're the better team. You have to do that. But then you go, January, February, Izzo. Oh, it's Izzo month. I like Michigan State for this upset.
All right, let's move over here to the Midwest. We got Houston versus Auburn. All right, that's easy peasy.
Ken Palm loves Houston. That's all I'm going to tell you.
We got Miami, the Hurricanes, versus the Houston.
We got Indiana. So here, realistically, although I had a kid who went to Miami,
Doesn't matter at
I
this
think
point.
doesn't matter. It's too serious
March,
now.
It's March Madness. This is the second round. All right, Bulldogs. Now you mentioned when we were talking about this, you mentioned there's always that first 4 team that makes a run.
Yep.
Do they beat
They do.
Xavier?
Look at this. You got a Texas team that many, almost a 1 seed, so much hype.
So good. Sixth man
they
of the
play
year.
great.
Incredible.
But and an interesting year, right? You lose your head coach under
Interim head coach. Still,
under odd circumstances. It would be crazy here to not pick Texas. It would be crazy. And here's the thing. This is where you start overthinking your bracket. Because I like how A&M plays, and I think A&M's dangerous. But then they're matching up with a Mississippi State team that's in the first 4 and would have to get through it. So now I'm going, boy, if I pick A&M here, even though I'm like that close, then I have A&M, Mississippi. I just can't do it.
Going with the Longhorns.
I'm going with the Longhorns. Hate to hear about anything other than that.
I hope he's healthy.
I like
they
Kansas'
are a
chance.
dominant team.
They are. And look at this. Look at this. Look at St. Mary's. A proud program, a team that's been there and been close. What a great run this is about to be.
You already have 2 first 4 teams. You have both 11 seeds in the first 4 teams knocking off their first round 6 seed opponents. But
Gonzaga's just playing too low.
I mean, Gonzaga just had a brutal
They have the
matchup
experience.
against Grand
They're going to have the
Canyon
best
before.
player on the court. That's true. Could be worn
Grand
out.
Canyon's going to
Could
exhaust.
be worn out. and wouldn't this be a fun?
For a little rematch.
Wouldn't that be
like
a
that.
fun, exciting
That would be a
matchup?
great
Look at
game.
that.
We got a 1v12, we got a 6v2, we got a 1v5, we have a 3v7, probably should be a 3v2. We have a 1v4, we have an 11v2, we have a 1v5, and we have a 3v2. So right now, Charleston holding the boat as you, and Mississippi State are holding the boats as your little Cinderella stories. Will Charleston, the slipper?
No, come on.
We're throwing the slipper away?
I mean, freshman or not,
Creighton versus Arizona. All right, easy peasy.
not too hard. Now,
I like it. I think this is the best
boy,
matchup.
I'm going to be honest. I'll be cheering for Purdue. I want Purdue. It would be great to see Purdue get over the hump. You don't want to put too much hype in the end of season. You got to look at the whole body of work. Duke really turned it on at the end. Coach K's not there now for the first time, first tournament, a lot on the. I still like Duke. I want to go Purdue.
Do you think Coach K is going to be at this game? First-year head coach.
So, still a great coach. Still great.
Great coach.
January, February, Izzo people.
Oh, should have known that was coming.
That's coming. Look at that. Look at this run by Michigan
see,
State. I'm sorry. The metrics matter. And assuming we have health.
You're one Cinderella over here.
Yes. And now we're
Mississippi State moves to Texas?
Yep. That's the end of it.
All right.
It was a heck of a run until that point.
I like it. All right, let's move down to your final Sweet 16 games here. We got Kansas, the former national champion, versus the Gales. Now, you talked about the Gales building a program.
I like them.
You like the Gales
I like
here?
them. And here's look at all the chalk that's starting to form. Nonetheless,
Jayhawks, all right.
rock chalk there. Now, right here, this is where we get very interesting. But there's a lot of experience on this UCLA squad, and a lot of people with the ball in their hands more than they're going to have with Gonzaga. I got UCLA winning that. What would be a great game if it happens.
All right. Well, now we're on to the Elite Eight. So let's start in the South. Best team of the year versus Arizona, who's kind of not had the year we thought they'd have, but they're still a really
At
good
times
team.
they did, right? And then at times they didn't. Now the Pac-12 was better than it's been in some recent years. And this is where it gets very interesting, right? Because you got a team in Arizona that not really sure every time you think they're about to turn. And of course, what an exciting Pac-12 championship game. You're still at the best player in the court. Now, I think it's very hard for freshmen to take their team all the way to the championship. I don't think it happens a lot. But the Final Four
Can be done.
is more likely to be done. And I just think, again, I'm making it sound like it's a one-player team. It's not. It's just that you see him take over at times.
Well, and Nate Oates is a very good coach here at Alabama. Oh, we're going to save the East for last for several reasons, but mainly because it's the least chalkiest. Midwest, we got the 1 seed Houston. You've been talking all about metrics, but Texas, winner of the best conference.
They were the best team in metrics almost the whole year. Little bit of faltering, some injury problems. Assuming that ends up not being a killer, which of course is the problem, we don't really know, but assuming that ends up being not as big, then I like Houston here. Here's where it gets interesting. And this is where you have experience and you got a deep team and you got UCLA
Interesting.
making it back.
UCLA knocks off the defending champions, Rock Chalk Kansas Jayhawks. All right, now, Tom Izzo versus wannabe Coach K, kind of.
So here's the issue. If Duke makes it to this line, that means Duke has continued to play at the level that matches some of their talent with the transfers they have in and some of the young players that have come together. If MSU makes it to that line, it means for the first time all year they've put together some of their offensive numbers, which have been great, some of their defensive numbers that have been great, but both in spurts and never together. Nonetheless, at that point, you got to assume that the higher talented team is more likely to pull it out. And right now, at least on paper, that would be Duke. So we're going to go MSU in the Final Four. All right, which one do we do first?
We move to the Final Four. Now, a little fun fact about this Final Four. You're talking about all this metrics.
Houston and Houston.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes.
Because Houston is in Houston. We're going to save this hometown matchup. This should be a fascinating Final Four for several reasons. One, if this is the case, nobody outside of Alabama is rooting for Alabama. And everybody here, I mean, you're talking about Houston, UCLA. Nobody's even rooting for the Bruins here outside of LA. Let's start with Houston, UCLA. Does the hometown team dominate?
I think. So when you look at this, and we didn't talk about this, you know how many good basketball teams are out of Texas this year? There are so many teams here. Texas can make a run. A&M can make a run. I understand they're in a bad place, but no one thought they were a 7 seed. They didn't play like a 7 seed. When I saw it revealed, I was like, wow, that's different than I didn't see anyone predicting them as a 7 seed. A&M's dangerous. Texas is dangerous.
Baylor
Houston.
over here.
This is not football season, people. College basketball in Texas this year is phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
And so, but that home crowd, if this happens, you gotta like Houston.
All right. And now, this is where we're going to really put your loyalty here to a test.
No, this is just too much. I think that it's amazing when you think about where Bama basketball was for so long, to see what one coach can do over a period of years. I mean, coaching matters, leadership matters. The reality is that if this happens, Alabama is likely to win that game. I mean, I just don't think – I think it would be an incredible growth by the Michigan State team to have anyone who can check the best player in college basketball so this year. But remember, way back at the beginning, what I said about my belief that outside of Carmelo, generally you don't see a freshman put the team on their shoulders and take them all the way. Houston playing for a championship in Houston with a team that's shown all year it's capable. It's got Sampson. You got a great coach. You got great players. You got guys on the team who have made runs in the tournament. This is just too much, and this is Houston.
Houston
crowned your 2023 March Madness and
you heard it here first.
National champions.
Wow. Well, Mark, I think there's only one more thing to do here. Let's give it a signature. Sign off on it. Sign off on it. Here we go.
This is the perfect bracket. I mean, it'd be perfect if Michigan State had won it, but they didn't. But everything predicted, right? Unbelievable. Look at that.
And Mark Breyer signs off
on
his 2023 MARKetology. First time ever we've been doing MARKetology here. Let's just give the fans watching home. Why is this the best month in sports?
Oh, listen. To see these kids who play, you have to be so good to play college basketball. I mean, many of us have played basketball, and you play basketball against good players. To play anywhere in college, you're playing at another level. Then you're playing in Division I. Now you're playing on a team that made its way to this tournament, and game after game, 16 teams are going to go home on Thursday, 16 more on Friday, 8 more Saturday, 8 more Sunday. Everyone is going to be fighting for their season, in some cases their career. They're going to remember everything that happens in the game, and all of it is happening at once. That many games happening at the same time, and all part of the same. I mean, use wrestling as an example. You make the NCAA championships in wrestling, you are at a level of a wrestler that's unbelievable. But there aren't 68 guys in your weight class wrestling in the same 2 days, right? Well, 64 of them in the same 2 days. So what an amazing weekend we're about to experience. If there's ever a weekend to grab your chips and dip and to use that air fryer that is the greatest invention probably since the internet. you need to wear your air fryer out, because I know I'm going to try to do that.
I love it. Well, Mark, thanks so much for hopping on here for Marketology. Make sure to comment your own predictions and tell Mark why his predictions are wrong in the comments below.
Highly unlikely. I think they're all right. I'm double checking. That's all right.
Come on. I think we sum it up in this way. Houston, there is no problem. National championship coming soon. Thanks for joining us.